Hi, Anthony Carruthers, Better Lesson Master Teacher Project. And in this reflection, I'll be talking about how my students communicated their own experience with a pretty complex dilation task in which they had to write about their process. So I just want to read some of the things that my students wrote. So this first student says, I chose this problem to showcase because it shows how I calculated every detail of this dilation. It clearly shows my thought process from start to finish. My explanation lists each step in finding the scale factor that would make B, C, D, E, F coincide with B prime, C prime, D prime, E prime, F prime. So the things that make students proud is, gives us some insight into the areas in which they've grown. So I think definitely this is a student who grew in her ability to show her process and to explain. Okay, here is another example of a student who wrote, I selected this packet because I felt that I went to great lengths to make the steps understandable. I wrote a much longer description than I normally would. I don't particularly like to show my work in general. Getting sort of compliments on my work didn't hurt either. Now, looking back at what I wrote, it reminds me about what we learned on dilations, which was a kind of old lesson, maybe first semester. So again, this student just talking about how she has grown and basically, pushed her boundaries and done some things that she might not have done in the past. Okay, here's another student who writes, I selected this work sample because I was able to understand the material and efficiently solve the problems. Also, I was able to explain how I got to the solution step by step. This proved that I knew the material well enough to describe the process of solving the problems. This packet is significant to me because I have never been good at math with the Common Core criteria. Interesting. This is the first piece of work where I completely understood the material enough to write up Common Core level responses. So again, it's just evident to me that these students are feeling their own growth, and definitely their work is evidence of that growth. Anthony Carruthers, Better Lesson Master Teacher Project.